Hello guys, welcome back to another tips video. This is the round 12 tips for 2026. And yep, let's get started. Starting off with St Kilda and Hawthorn. Hawthorn have won 3 out of their last 4s against St Kilda. Last time they played each other in round 17 last year. Hawthorn are 7-3-1 and Saints are 5-6. And yep, Hawks won after a slow start to the game, and so last week against the Crows, Blake Hardwick kicked 4, wow, and St Kilda, yep, they did lose by 30, so only just hitting the front early in the last quarter. Sam Flanders won 17 AFL Fantasy, and he also had 7 tackles, and Rowan Marshall also had 7 tackles, so anyways, for this first game, Hawthorn by 29 points. Yep, moving on, Carlton and Geelong. Last time they played each other was when Carlton won an upset against Geelong. Yep, before that was the Carlton Respects game, and that was the last time Geelong won, which was 2 years ago. And before that, Carlton won. 8-3 to 3-8. And yep. Carlton go back-to-back wins under caretaker coach Josh Fraser. And also, Paddy Cripps had 32 disposals. And for Geelong, Holmes had 35 disposals and Lawson Humphries had 124 AFL Fantasy. But Geelong's going to win this. I mean, I know Carlton's won most, but maybe I'll give Geelong a shot this time. So, Geelong by 21 points. Now moving on to Super Saturday is Sydney versus Richmond. 9-2 to 2-9. Swans lose to Geelong, and Richmond won their first Dreamtime game since 2022. Wow, jeez, 2022 is 4 years ago. Anyways, Swans won it last time. Before that, they didn't win since 2023's gathering year. Richmond have not defeated Sydney in 2 years. And yeah, let's have a look at what they did. Sydney, Marnie kicked 4 and James Rowbottom had 10 tackles. And Richmond, Tim Taranto had 7 tackles. So anyways, Sydney by 39 points. Yep, moving on. Twilight game, Brisbane and Fremantle. So yeah, it's at the Gabba this time. And Freo win 10 in a row for the first time in their history, defeating St Kilda and Brisbane. We rarely see bigger defeats from Brisbane in the Chris Fagan era, but they've lost 2 in a row. How did they lose to Giants? Last time they played each other, Brisbane thrashed Freo, and in 2024 was the last time Freo won, but yeah, see what Brisbane did. Lachie Neale had 32 disposals for this, and yep, for Fremantle, Murphy Reid had 30 disposals and Amos kicked 4. So yep, anyways, maybe Freo by 9 points. So they can make it 11-1. Hope they do not collapse like that one time. Anyways, moving on, the last Super Saturday game, Bulldogs and Collingwood. The Dogs win a close one against the Demons for the second time in a row in under a year. Well, yep. They're still below Melbourne though, but that does not matter. I mean, Melbourne have won better last 5 records than Bulldogs, but yeah. Last time they played each other, that was probably the Dogs' anniversary game, and yeah, they lost. You know, it was way earlier to last year. Dogs last better than 2 years ago. 5-5-1 to 6-5. I mean, yeah. Bulldogs Richards kicked 3. Bailey Dale 31 disposals. Richards also had 124 AFL fantasy, and Lobb had 10 tackles. And Collingwood, they win by 10 points in Pendle's record game breaker with injuries to Darcy Moore and Jamie Elliott with a crowd of 90,028. Dacos 34 disposals. He also had 3 goals. He had 126 AFL fantasy. Jack Crisp 9 tackles. And Jamie Elliott kicked 3. And yeah, anyways, Bulldogs have a little bit of momentum. Yep. So yeah, they'll be winning by 17 points. And yeah, now on to Sunday ticket. And the Demons 7-4, just like they were 2 years ago. Percentage of 106.7. Lost to Bulldogs. Harvey Langford, this guy, he dropped the mark when he had the chance to win the game. Under a huge pressure from Bulldogs' Lockie Jacks, close to goal. And Lever was injured due to concussion, and yeah. Giants, 14 goal quarter, bro. How they become so overpowered in the third quarter. And yeah. Last time they played each other, Demons fell short in their first game of last year. Yep, all last 3 losses. Yep, lost 3 in a row. Close ones. Yep. Melbourne are terrible in Alice Springs. They have not won there since 2022. And, yep, they're terrible but over there. But, yeah. Melbourne. Jack Steele had 10 tackles. And GWS. Clary 37 disposals, Stringer kicked 5 and Green kicked 5, and Phoenix Cop had 130 AFL fantasy and 10 tackles. I reckon Clary might be playing against his former side here. Anyways, maybe Demons by 6 points. And our last game is the Western Australia Day game, I reckon it is. So it's West Coast and Essendon, 1-10. At the bottom for the first time since earlier this season, and West Coast, 3-8. Came close to Collingwood. Essendon won most of these matchups, but Eagles nearly did it in late 2023 and early last year, but yeah. Right, Essendon. Zach Merritt had 140 AFL fantasy, Archer May 3 goals, and Darcy Parish 41 disposals. And West Coast and Elliot Yeo kicked 3. Anyways, to wrap up autumn, I reckon it is West Coast by maybe 14 points. And yeah, the buys are Adelaide, Gold Coast, North, and Port. Anyways, please make sure to join my tips comp. Will be in the link in the description down below if you want to join. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more AFL tips videos.